All right, welcome everybody to the Tuesday afternoon Dynasty Strong team. We are building a superstar diamond team in 2022 so we can be celebrated next year in San Antonio as not only an elite team, but a superstar diamond team, which is the pinnacle of all of the ranks in Beachbody. But we're going to do that because we are deserving of that. We're worthy of that. We're strong enough to do that. We have the people in place to do that. And we have the ability to find the people out there who are looking for the total solution and what we have to give them. So let's remember that's a gift, what we have for them. So I don't know about you guys, those of you who are Summit, those that weren't at Summit are like, what's going on with these guys that just came home? They're like on something. And it's not just the energize. We're fired up. And I'm just going to keep this real short at the beginning. I apologize for my shortcoming of not showing up at my best self over the past few years. I've just gotten by. I've just done enough to get Success Club 10, and there's no excuses. I was just comfortable with my lifestyle, comfortable with where I was at. But I've been challenged and called, not by anyone in particular, but by God, by my inner self, that it's time to grow, that it's time to be a stronger person, that I'm only 40 and I got like 20 plus years of growth that I need to go through. And I wasn't really focused on that. So here I am, did day one of 30-day breakaway. I'm reading John C. Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, drinking my Energize and doing all the things. Had my first thing had last thing for the first time last night and first thing for the first time this morning. Did my workout and I just want to share just a couple things real quick from my personal development this morning as I got started. One of the first things that he talked about, and then we'll get into the summit stuff, are the gaps that happen. There's a bunch of gaps when you get intentional about what you want to accomplish. And one of them stood out to me was the, what was it? The time gap, I think it's called. I want to get it exactly right, the name of it. The timing gap. It's not the right time to begin. And I'm going to share a couple quotes in there. Or just one quote. He said, American politician Frank Clark said, "What great accomplishments we'd have in the world if everybody had done what they intended to do." And that just hit me really strong because I've intended to be an elite coach every year. I've been intended to lead a superstar diamond team, and I didn't follow through with it like I should have. So here we are, and we're going to do absolutely everything possible to make that happen. So I want to keep this at exactly an hour. I know with everybody's excitement, people are going to talk. Like I already said, things that I wasn't even planning on saying that are on my little notes. So just to show you how that's going to go, I'm going to go through just some quick announcements. We're not going to expand on them because you are the leader of your own business. You can go exactly where I went 20 minutes ago to get the entire list of the announcements that I'm going to give you. And where I'm going to tell you to find them is the Team Beachbody 411 coach page. Every single day, like multiple times throughout the day during Summit, they showed all of the announcements of things that are coming out, all of the promotions that are going on, along with details, coach FAQ numbers, and even promo videos for the new programs that are coming out. So what I'm going to do is just list those off. You will need to go look at the details for that because you are a leader of your business and you know where to find those now that I showed you. So they're also in the coach breaking news inside your office, but I found them on the Team Beachbody 411 coach page. First, the Lift More launch for preferred customers and coaches is today. Coach Summit is going to be in San Antonio next year. I know some coaches on this team, as they share, will probably share about that, but I already got my ticket. I got Gabby's ticket and I already have a hotel. So we're committed to going. And as you know, we're going to walk across stage as a Superstar Diamond team next year. There's also a help one more bonus, just basics of that, help one more person than you did last month. All the details are in that post in the Team Beachbody 411 coach page and the FAQ. New thing coming out, mint chocolate chip beach bars, plant-based. Also, there's two seasonal Shakeologies, vanilla chai and salted, what is it? Caramel brownie. I can't remember. My note says choked, but I definitely know it's not choked. So there's the new, there's those two new flavors. Chocolate caramel brownie is probably what it was. Okay. Next, also, Megan Davies has a new program coming out called Sure Thing. Also, as you guys know, all of the workouts from Open Fit have come on to Beachbody On Demand. So incredible. We have so many more programs to offer people as well. So just remember that when you're showing value of what we have. Also, one of the trainers from Open Fit, Andrea Rogers, she is our newest Beachbody super trainer and coming out with a new program called XB Sweat. As I mentioned, there's first and last thing. Also, make sure that you check for your local super weekend. If you see the energy after this call about Summit, get to super weekend so you can be live with other coaches and kind of get some of that feeling as well. And then also it's time to get registered for a team cup. I know a lot of coaches on our team at Summit were getting registered. So get registered for that. My advice is just, and the same will be for Summit. You don't need to know any of the details of how it's going to happen or what's going to play out. Just make the decision. Buy your ticket to Summit. You can figure out tickets to Summit next year, our hotel room for Summit, accommodations, all of that stuff. I always see in the spring people that are trying to transfer the room and people that are trying to share their room to save money. So don't worry about that now. Just get your ticket and make that commitment. The same thing with Team Cup. Make the decision, like go to the team page, whether it's the Fit Family Network or Team 2 Coins or the Dynasty Strong team page where all of you guys are a part of and you're invite your teams. Like just comment in there, like start a thread, be the leader and get a Team Cup image off of Google, put it in there and be like Team Cup. Whoever wants to be a part of Team Cup, comment below. And then the people in there, you guys can start connecting with each other in that comment thread and form those teams. That's the type of leadership we need in order to be a superstar diamond team. We can't have me telling everybody what to do. We all have to rise up and play those roles. So I've talked a lot already, so I'll share some of my Summit experience afterwards. I want to start with inviting some of our coaches to share. Matthew's going to be driving in just a little bit, so I'm going to ask Matt to unmute himself. And before he says anything, I have to shout out, Matt won the Beachbody Classic, first place for the physique competition. So he has incredible discipline as a father of four, working full time to be able to do that. And I know he's going to do awesome things with his business this year. But Matt, I'm going to have you share some of your takeaways.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, so I will try to be as much to the point as possible here. When I get talking about things like this that I'm passionate about, I can get a little carried away. As those that went to dinner and we got to talking about nutrition and things like that, I can get pretty passionate pretty quick. So I'll try to, got some notes, so I'll try to stay short and to the point. So just a few of my key takeaways, and I'm going to just start with the biggest thing for me, and really it was what was talked about by I think every person that spoke on stage and that came up, was just a reminder of this community and what it means to get back together, how important that is. The fact that we are simply better together when we are getting together, when we are interacting with each other. That environment, that energy is so infectious and so inspiring. And frankly, it's essentially what we sell above everything else, right? We've got the total solution pack, we've got the workouts, we've got nutrition, but it's us as coaches and it's the community that separate us from the other organizations, the other opportunities that are out there. And sure, there are great communities, and I'm not knocking some of those others out there. But the community, these coaches, that is what is the difference and what makes it so great. And so just being there was just a reminder of that. And we heard that countless times from many different speakers and individuals that got up there. And that was just something that reminded me, this was my 6th summit. And so, not having it the last couple of years, even considering not going, it was a reminder that it's just, being around everyone is so infectious. The next thing I was going to talk about is just a continued thing that I heard from person after person after person was that we just have to take action now. We talk about it to our clients, to our customers. You don't have to wait for anything. Don't wait till Monday. You don't have to wait till the 1st of the month or the 1st of January. It's take action now. It's what we tell everyone we work with all the time, and it absolutely applies to this business. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to figure things out along the way. And frankly, by the time you figure it out, the way things are going, it's going to change. because social media is changing and evolving, and how we connect with each other and how we interact with clients and people out there is going to change. So just take action. And the added part of that is just believe in yourself. Just believe in who you are. Believe, I love, Scotty, that you started off talking about being a diamond team because you're worthy, because we're the team is worthy, because we deserve it. Why not? And the same thing for you and for who you are. Believe in who you are. Believe in the passion that's obviously been put in you for a very specific reason, not by mistake. You have that passion. You have that desire for a reason. Don't doubt it. Don't question it. Don't try to talk yourself out of that it's not real. It is real. Believe it, embrace it, and move forward. Take action and go. And then the final kind of the bullet point, so to speak, is just the speakers in general, from the coaches that got up there, the people that we saw from the challenge winners. I'll shout the classic participants, not just the winners, right, but just the classic participants that are walking the stage, celebrating what they've done, and all the way to the keynote speakers. There's just so much inspiration to be taken away from who people are, from the work that they put in, from the changes from where they started to where they are now. And everybody's goals are different. And so what that looks like, it's not redundant. It's not the same transformation over and over and over again, because everybody is so different. Everybody has a different story. It's just so inspiring. And there are little things that I was able to connect with from almost every individual story that spoke to me and inspired me and just instilled that belief in me that I haven't had before. So those were some three big key takeaways that I had from Summit. I'll just go ahead and share my goals. If you've seen on the personally sponsored page, I don't remember if I put on the other one or not, but you've seen it. I'd already committed to that September 9th date, and I haven't forgotten that date. I think I've shown it before. And I still keep track of it. I don't know if you probably can't see it right there. Diamond Coach, 51 days. I've got a countdown, and it tracks it, and I see that number every single day, and I'm working towards that. And so that's a big goal for me personally. In addition to that, I've got a 1-star goal by mid-November so that I can qualify for New Leadership. I'm going to attend New Leadership this in 2023. I won't miss it, and so that is a goal that I'm absolutely going to hit. So knowing and going back and looking at how to qualify, I know I've got to have the 6 weeks of qualification before the end of December. So mid-November, I will be 1-star diamond so I can qualify and attend New Leadership. And then in addition to that, just walking away with the belief in who I am for the first time, really in this business, and what I can go do as a part of this team is we're going to be an elite team in 2023. So in Elite Summit 2024, we're going to be recognized. I'm laying the foundation now at the diamond as a 1-star diamond at the end of this year, putting things in place and starting the team so that in 2023 we will achieve elite team and walk that stage as an elite team in 2024. So I don't take these goals lightly. And as Scotty mentioned, the Classic winning was a goal of mine. It was something that I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew when it had to happen, and I knew what it had to take. I built a plan for the last really 4.5 months, put in a spreadsheet day by day exactly what I had to do. I tracked it. I did it. I lost weight, 120 pounds with P90X and starting off with Beachbody way back when. So I know exactly how to do it. I'm applying that exact same thing to these goals. And so it's not just coming off of a Summit high. It's a commitment. I've already started building out my calendars from now to the end of the year and into next year of what that looks like. So I'm excited to share that and stand up here in front of all of you. And I text Scotty yesterday, maybe it was, I can't wait until Summit next year when we're sitting there in the lobby and talking and just looking back to this moment, looking back to the conversations that we had in the lobby 2 nights ago. And being able to say, look, I mean, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. Scotty walking the stage as a superstar diamond with this team. So excited to share my goals. And then finally, sorry, I know, like I said, I'll ramble on. I get too excited. Finally, I'm just going to say, get to Summit. I mentioned this in the personally sponsored page, with my you're registered for 2023 Summit. Just sign up now. Make the decision now to sign up to go. You've got almost an entire year to figure out the hotel, to figure out arrangements, to save up money, to do whatever you got to do to make sure you're there. You've got almost a full year. So make the decision now. Yeah, we've got this, it's on sale for $145 and it's the cheapest it's going to be and all of that they told us yesterday on the wake up call. So take advantage of that, but make that decision now. And I'm going through the Craig Holiday 90 days thing. And so I've got a lot of things that are very fresh on my mind. And one of the things that he said in that was, if you don't have, and he's talking about just signing up in the business and the opportunity, right? If you don't have $39 to start up this business today, then you need it more than ever. You need the business more than ever if you don't have the $39 in your hand to go buy. If you don't have the $145 to sign up for a ticket, if you don't have the money, the time off, the ability to go to Summit next year, then you have to make it happen because you've got to get yourself in a position where that is no longer an issue. And so that stuck with me and something that came to mind whenever I was talking about this. So I'll wrap it up. Thanks for letting me go first, Scotty. And I'm going to stick on the call. I can't wait to hear from the rest of you. But here in about 15 minutes, I might just start driving, so I'll just be listening in. But thank you. Obviously, I'm excited. Had an incredible Summit experience. Really unexplainable. And as I mentioned, it was my sixth one, but it's really very unique and different from the rest for several reasons. But I'm really looking forward to the next one. So thank y'all.
Awesome. Thank you. It feels like my house went from 72 to 60 degrees in here. I'm like, got the chills, like shivering from that. I love it. Absolutely incredible insights. I love that. That reminder of like Craig Holiday saying, if you don't have $40 for this business, you need it more than ever. If you don't have the money to buy your Summit ticket, this business, you absolutely need it. Because I believe that if there's something that you have a desire, a dream in your heart, it's been planted there by God for some reason, and there's going to be a way for you to get it, but you have to have faith and take action on that. And I think that would be a step for that. So, Samantha, you want to share? I just unmuted you. You're up.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I know I see a lot of faces I got to squeeze this weekend, which was so incredible for the heart. Honestly, I feel like I have so many takeaways from the Summit. It's kind of hard to articulate. Like I keep jotting down notes, and that's what an advice I got from actually Beth. She was like, I take 3 days after Summit to just like organize my brain because it's like in a positive way, there's so much. So, but definitely Brendan Bouchard was a highlight for me, and how he was just kind of talking about like, we have to move on. And he was in the Diamond Breakaway track. And I felt like that was a really great follow-up to like his thing to kind of like hone in deeper. But for those of you who are in it, he was talking basically about, we have to like move people. And a lot of times that means us going first, from talking about the last 2 years of like living in that and constantly kind of talking about it and like helping them have ambition to come out. And the most amazing thing we do as coaches is all we have to do is go first. And I know for myself, it was a really hard 2 years. And when you're in a hard season, sometimes it's just so hard to like get, my child is banging on the window like an animal. Always if you're on a call with me, just to move out of that. And because our brain is wired a certain way, and he didn't say this, but this is my own kind of putting it together of when you're in struggle and you just constantly are talking to yourself about how to survive, which is absolutely what we have to do. Sometimes you are absolutely hyping yourself to just survive, but that's then how your brain starts to wire itself. That's the pathway that it creates. And so after the 2 years, the last 6 months, I've been really ready to like, go all in and do all the things, but I needed Summit to kind of remind me that like, you have to like, just stop talking about how it was hard. So I'm really grateful for that. And just like to hug everyone and to squeeze everyone and to just like, that's like my biggest takeaway, honestly. It was just like how much live events are everything. And Scotty, we were talking it was after celebration, and he was like, I'm going to be 15-star. And I had been thinking all day. And so I actually messaged him. I don't know if it was Sunday or Monday. I don't even know what day it is. I got stuck at the airport for 9 hours with additional layovers. So I don't know. Is it Wednesday, Friday? I have no idea. But I messaged Scotty and I was like, hey, I'm going to go 15-star with you. And I want to just be very honest with you guys. I am a paid diamond right now. I am a paid diamond. I don't have a single working coach at this current moment, but I have the most highest level of belief that I can go 15-star by next summit, because other people have done it too. And also a big message from Summit was all these people on stage that they always say there's no difference from me. Sorry, I have rice on. I'm just taking that off the burner really fast. There is no difference between the people you see up on stage and us. The only difference is the amount of invites you send and the amount of content that you add value to people and the path of just not stopping. And so I know, and I'm honestly my happiest when I'm going all in the business, like when I'm going all in personal development, because kind of like in our workouts, I have found, you know, how our trainers always remind us that when we're doing a hard thing in our workout and it will transfer over to life, you know, like if you push through in your workout, people can handle stress better because it's kind of this like inner pathway that like, oh, I did it here, I can do it there. I feel that way in my business. And this is not from Summit, but if anybody wants some hype, I read Go for No before I went to Summit, and I created a Go for No goal for myself. And so now I'm inviting, like, I haven't invited like this in a while, but I'm inviting like crazy. And every time they say no, I'm like so hyped about it, because the point of the book is to go for no. The title is Go for No. It's surprising. So anyways, I just feel really hyped. But also I will be an elite team this year. I got to go to a little meet and greet, and Ali Tessitore spoke, and she left Summit as a Rocky Diamond, and she ended the year 6-star elite. And I'm like, done, bet, solid, we're doing it. And then if I can go to 6-star by the end of the year, why can't I go to 15? That was my mindset, is why can't I go to 15-star with Scotty by next year's Summit? So Scotty and I are going to have some kind of like cool handshake, like right at the center of the stage, like when we walk across, and I'm so here for it. And I just encourage all of you to go for a big goal, whatever that looks like to you. Because I talked to some of my coaches about this, that like, when they're like, well, I just want to make SC4, or I just like want to get on the board. A lot of times your actions between like a lower level goal, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but I just mean like a smaller goal versus a bigger goal is like 5% of action. Your habits are the exact same if you want to make SC6 to SC20. It's just you're increasing like a tiny bit. And I know that because when I'm going to like say it with pride, because sometimes I like get embarrassed, but when I was 2-time premier and I am a 3-star diamond coach, and when I was in 4-star qual, I was not working 17 hours a day. I was just incredibly intentional and sending messages like when I could. And so that 5% increase, or that 20% increase, which is 20 minutes, a 20% increase to a power hour is 20 minutes, it's 120 minutes, you guys. And that could be the difference at the end of the month for a larger SC goal, which then converts to more coaches, which converts to higher rank. So anyways, I'm like all jazzed about that, but just about going all in gets me excited. And Brigitte once gave me the advice that she said, it really doesn't matter if you think your goal is too big. Like if you're, 15-star in 1 year, like that's a pretty lofty goal. She said, it really doesn't matter, but it matters if you're excited about it. And if you're so excited about that goal that you get out of bed to push, that's all that matters. So I have always listened to her because I listen to when Brigitte tells me things, and it just came to me, and I messaged Scotty and I was like, 15-star, let's go. So now I just told all of you.
Let's go. I'm going to share something with everybody here, but specifically with you, Samantha. Give me 1 second. And also, I don't want to steal Michelle's thunder, so I won't say anything about it, but Mallory as well is going for this huge goal. Let's see if I can make this work. I'll share my screen. This is something I saved, and it's part of my daily routine. And by daily routine, I mean at least like 3 times a day.
We have a tradition that we invite all of the existing superstars to the stage to welcome the new superstars to the club.
So let's welcome.
All right, I just saved that just so every day I can listen to that and then say my name after it, along with Michelle, Mallory, and Samantha. So if you want that, Samantha, I'll send it over to you. But I want to share one other thing in that I had in here from Brendan Bouchard. Wow, this is like really spazzing out as I try to scroll it. I'll come back and share it at the end because I have some thoughts I want to share at the end, but I will let others share while they're on here. Who else wants to share that was at Summit? Michelle, do you want to share?
Yes, I'll share. So yeah, hearing you speak, Sam, talk about that, like I feel everything you feel right now. Like I could just say and it's like, I have said this before, but it feels incredibly different this time. And I am way more excited about it. And I have like butterflies in my stomach right now, just like thinking about it and like hearing you guys talk about it. But that is my goal as well. So if I could be included in the secret handshake, then, you know, I would love that. Yeah, it was awesome walking on stage with Scotty this year. And yeah, when he reached out to me, it was funny. We like reached out in different places. He like sent me a message through Instagram, and I sent him a message through Facebook that were basically like the same, like with goal. It was just really funny. Yeah. But yeah, this, like Matt said, that, you know, he has gone to 6 summits. This was my 7th summit. And honestly, like going into it, truth be told, like I felt defeated going into it, thinking about how I have always had so many more coaches that were at Summit with me. And I didn't have as many. But let me tell you, the women that were there with me were incredible. And I am so grateful that they were there and we were meant to be there together. But I, you know, going into it, like just had that feeling of like, oh gosh, like what is even happening with my business? Why don't I have more coaches? Like that's how I felt going into it. And yeah, like Matt even said, like thoughts, I mean, I never would have actually not gone, but it may have crossed my mind. Like, should I go? You know, like I definitely had those feelings, but so this was my 7th in person, and it was definitely just so different. And the way that I can tell that I've grown as a person because the messages that I heard were even different. And when I was listening to the speakers, so I loved Brendan Bouchard as well. And that kind of made so much sense as far as like what is happening with like my team and across the board with coaching in general. Just listening to him talk about, you know, people needing aliveness, connection, meaningful pursuits and growth. And like that basically encompasses what we do as coaches, and talking about how what holds them back or gets in their way, the doubt, the division, the delay, like those were, you know, just very much eye-opening and just brings it all together and makes so much sense. But again, he came into our, you know, our leadership and our leadership track and talked about, and I had like typed it in the comments when Sam was talking, because I feel like I connected with this so much, but we've just been living in the past 2 years. And I know for me, like even just allowing the past 2 years be just a wall or an excuse to not raise your ambition. That stuck with me too. He talks so much about raising your ambition. And I, you know, how even for me, when I'm listening to my coaches, I can empathize and I can help them cope and everything, but I'm not moving them out of that. Like, I'm doing them a disservice by staying in that area with them, like just being like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I think about like how I parent my kids. I don't even do that with my kids very much. I'm pretty much like not really like staying in that like coping, empathizing very long. I move them along and push them and challenge them. Like, I need to do that with more with my coaches and my team too, you know? So I liked that, how he was like, listen and push, listen and push. Like, that stuck out with me big time. And then another thing that stuck out to me a lot, and I just relate to just over the years of like ups and downs with coaching, with my team, with everything, about how Kim Fitzpatrick opened up about like, you know, what had happened in, you know, years past with her team, and how, you know, you can focus on that like growth, impact, or collaboration, or you can focus on the jealousy, negativity, or toxicity. And I have seen how I've let jealousy, negativity, toxicity really dim my light, like she talked about. And I am like completely ready to not let that happen anymore. So I feel very strongly about 15-star diamond by next summit. I will walk that stage again. And I also told my team, I poured my heart out, and Scotty knows this because I shared it with him. I really poured my heart out to my team to let them know like where I am currently with coming off of summit, and, you know, shared with them that, you know, all of these goals and what my desires and hopes and dreams for our team. I told them that I know that there are a lot of people that are not part of our team right now that will be a part of this, but I know that there are many of them that, you know, will be part of it as well. And just opened up. I told them I invited them to the stage. I used it figuratively, and, you know, literally inviting them to the stage, but more so what it represents and how it just represents that impact. You know, I think in the past also, like, I saw the stage as a shiny object, and I saw the recognition and all the things as a shiny object. And because I kind of like go back and forth between that Enneagram 2 and Enneagram 3. So if you know what that is, the 3 is the achiever and the 2 is the helper. Like, so I have like so much of both in me. So the 3 in me, like, you know, sometimes in the past has gotten caught up in the shiny objects, but the 2 in me mixed with the 3 just knows that it's not a shiny object. That stage is impact. That stage is just incredible service. It is just, you know, and me holding back and dimming my light is doing a disservice to number 1, my family, and number 2, like thousands of people that I could be serving. So yes, so this more than ever, I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to cry now, I think, but more than ever, there is a fire in my belly that I am ready to go. So that's how I feel coming off of summit.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And guys, I have to shout out Michelle. She was walking across stage as a Success Club All-Star Legend 100 consecutive months. She's the only coach in our entire downline that's done 100 months of consecutive Success Club for 100 months. So awesome work, Michelle. I'm excited to walk that stage with you. I don't want to talk. I do, but I want you guys to talk. So who's up next? You can just unmute or.
So I wanted to share, like, I haven't been to Summit since 2011, but this was like my second one. And, you know, as a lower ranking coach, 2 things stood out to me from Summit. And number 1 was belief. Like, the belief system that you have in yourself, I think, is the most important thing. And I have been a victim of, you know, saying, or just not believing in myself. And then because I didn't believe in myself, my actions didn't line up with my goals. And so you can make all these goals, but unless you actually truly believe that it can happen, I honestly don't think your actions will line up. And I proved that to myself, you know, like in real life. So, and then the second thing is, I was struggling, you know, social media, like all I post about is fitness and eating healthy, but I wasn't really like being, I guess, transparent with my people. And I wasn't wanting to share about what I'm dealing with in my personal life, because I always feel like, well, as coaches, we're supposed to be all positive, right? We're supposed to like focus on positivity. And I also talked to Annabelle, and I've always been watching her stories, and she's like, she comes from abuse, and so it's like you can share personal things that you're dealing with that aren't necessarily positive, but always share like how you're growing through it, and just be transparent about what you're dealing with so that you don't look perfect on camera, but at the same time share like what good is coming out of this, how are you growing through the negativity that you are dealing with or living through in your life. And so that's another thing that stood out to me just during the coach track. They're like, a lot of the coaches are like, we had to fail a million times, we had to be afraid, but just do it anyway. You have to be transparent. Everybody's dealing with things, but if you're not transparent about what you're dealing with and how you're growing through it, then you're not going to be able to inspire anyone else, because people don't want to work with someone that's perfect. And so those were my 2 takeaways. And my goal for Summit next year, I'm actually like grinding at the bit to like get that classic sign up done for 2023, but it's not even available yet. But so my 2 goals is 2-star diamond by next Summit, and as well as be in classic, because I feel like I need to level up. And yeah, like I love the workouts and all this stuff, but I really want to lean out and, build muscle. And I feel like that will empower me to feel like if I can do that, then I can darn near do anything. Like if my physique can be really where I want it to be. And I mean, I've seen 68-year-olds up there on stage, it's just like so inspiring. Kim and Christy really, really inspired me with their results, as well as Matthew. I mean, looking at his before and afters, I'm just like, wow, like, oh my gosh. I don't think he even pictured it being that amazing the first time, he went in for classic. So I know that the impossible is possible, and it's just a matter of that belief system. So, like, if you don't have it, decide you're going to have that belief system and decide that you're going to believe that no matter what. And once that belief system is in place, and it's like rock solid, that action will line up. And so, those are my takeaways, and I appreciate being able to share that. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you. We are going to watch you compete in the classic. Michelle was saying that was the first time she went to the classic. Me too. I've popped in before, but I've never gone early, sat down and watched the whole thing. Like I've popped in from the back and watched like 5 minutes and then took off. So it was absolutely awesome. We're going to see you compete in the classic. That's going to be awesome, and watch you carry the banner for the 2-star diamonds across stage in San Antonio. Awesome. Who else wants to share that was there?
Hi. So I can talk.
Hey, what's up, Kim?
I'm home with COVID. So I am literally like at my worst state, and I was not going to turn off the camera, but I have, as I'm like listening to you guys, and I'm like, it's like bringing back all the emotions again. So I feel like I want to talk and not like let this moment go away. But, okay, let me breathe. Okay. First thing, when I got on stage for the coach for the transformation challenge, the reason why I think I got that award, so you guys know, which was probably the most incredible experience of my life, when they called my name, Kim Reyes, please come to the stage for the Beachbody Challenge, coach. And I always encourage my customers and my coaches and my downline to do before and after pictures. Like every single time we do a new group, we do a new program, like I always push them, please enter your results into the Beachbody Challenge. And not only, and I haven't done it before, but starting now, you know how they send you like the email from Beachbody, like, oh, so-and-so entered the results into the Beachbody Classic and they put you as their coach. Well, you better believe after getting on stage and having the most incredible moment of my life, like I will be shouting out those people in my groups, like maybe even like a monthly prize, like, hey, these are the people that, did the Beachbody Challenge. And thank you so much for recognizing me. And I'm going to do a raffle this month for, these people and that kind of thing, just to like keep promoting it. Because you guys, like, I was not expecting to go up from my stairs. I thought they were going to line us up on the side like they lined everybody else up. But when I was just sitting in the chair and he said, Michael Neiman was like, okay, Kim Reyes, come to the stage. I literally threw my phone at Jose and I said, babe, video this. And then, and he was like, okay. And then I'm like running up to the stage and like just looking out at everyone, 30,000 people or however many were there. And I was like, I want this moment. Like every year I go to Summit. So I don't know what it's going to take for me to be on stage like this, whether it's 15 Star Diamond, doing it again, having one of my customers be the $100,000 winner. But that, I mean, it was so freaking cool. So that was number one. Number two, there was another thing that I thought about while I was listening to Bob Helix. If you guys went to that, he said something about that really hit me, that watching, like being on stage and all of that, as amazing as it is, and it really was, it's even better to watch someone that you like helped grow get into having that shining moment. And so like for us, like Scotty, it would be like if one of your coaches, you hit 15 Star Diamond, yeah, that's amazing. But if Sam hit it and she's like, your coach and you get to celebrate her, like that's such a great moment too. And so when I did the Beachbody Classic and I got in top 5, I was like so happy. Obviously we worked so hard to do it. But then Christy got in top 5 under 39. And I thought I was going to fall on the floor. Like the tears were starting to run down my face. Like I was such a proud mama bear, like watching that. And I was like, I want to watch all of my coaches hit elite this year. Like, I don't just want me to hit elite. I want everyone to hit elite. And because I don't know. And I remember like walking across the stage on Thursday night when we were doing the SC10 Legends, and I was walking with Aaron and I was looking out, and there was Christina Delgado like on the floor, and she had like her camera and her video camera, and she's like, and I see her just like with all of her coaches that she's videoing, and she's just so happy. And I'm like, okay, that's my goal right there. Like not exactly walking across the stage, but I also want to be the one on the floor, like watching my people. Okay, so that's it. That's my takeaway from Summit. And I'm sorry, I'm like a COVID mess in bed for days, but I had to get on and just talk for a second.
Thank you. We hope you heal up fast, and Laura as well, who's also
thanks.
Man, I just put in the comments, but those were my greatest, like the greatest moment. I remember Brigitte winning the CEO award, being called up on stage at a summit in Las Vegas. Chris winning the Beachbody Challenge was like, that was like the pinnacle. Like I remember Chris and I went backstage and they were doing some filming. I'm going to relive this for us, Chris. And like when I saw him behind the stage, we like hugged and we cried because we'd been on this mission and this journey for a couple of years. And we did that. And then later they escorted us off with the cameras and the lights and the crew to do some filming to promote next year. And they're like, and I'm not an actor, I'm an introvert. Like I don't even do Instagram stories or reels in front of other people. Like I wanted to do one in St. Louis and I never put it on because it was like people walking around. That's still me. And so like there's camera crews and lights and Chris is there and they're like, okay, we want you to act like this is the first time you saw Chris since you heard the news. And I'm like, how am I going to act? Like I can't do this. And I just walked, he was standing in front of the camera with the back setting thing. And I just walked over there and we just hugged and it happened again. It's just like tears. And we were just like brothers that hadn't seen each other forever, just so proud of a mission that we'd gone on and accomplished together. So a thing I heard at Summit, to recap that, is when you set your goal for next year, and this is for me, a reminder for me and each one of you guys, it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. And I think that's been one of my biggest weaknesses, being an introvert. Like I care deeply about people. I'm very much an empath. Like I cry like 20 times a day. I put something about that in my post the other day. I've cried like 10 times today. I cried in a message to Chris. Like I've teared up listening like 4 times on this call already. It's just my nature and I'm not embarrassed about it. But so I care deeply about other people, but I also like I get stressed and overwhelmed when I have to be with people because I'm an introvert. So I'm excited to grow and to step out of my comfort zone more in order to make this a we thing instead of a me thing, which I think has been one of my big weaknesses. So with that being said, who who else wants to share? We got about 15 minutes. Laura, our other
I'll just
COVID
share.
victim.
No, I'm sorry. I'm here suffering from COVID too. I knew I was in trouble 30 minutes into my 7-hour flight and I can hardly hear, so bear with me. But I think one of the little known aspects of this whole summit was when Carl spoke right before we broke for lunch on the second day. And I know a lot of people left, and he literally brought tears to my eyes, because right before COVID, he took Beachbody public. And within days, the company lost about 90% of its value. And is, from what I understand, what he said. And he could have let that totally defeat him, but he didn't allow it to. And I think when we come home and we're sitting by ourselves and we're here working and it's just us by ourselves, we can feel that same defeat, thinking that we are the only ones here that care, when we have this whole big team. And I loved being around all of you. And I felt so like I knew many of you before I even got there, because we have a book club, and the book club really brought us together, many of us that were there. And if you haven't joined one of our book clubs, and I don't even know when the next one is, but I'm just chomping at the bit to get back to it, because it's like a little weekly summit, sort of, with the personal development. And one of the things that was talked about, that if what you're doing isn't getting you where you want to go, you need to change your personal development. So the two books that we read over the last couple of months were just amazing. And I guess that would be my biggest takeaway. And I wasn't going to go to Summit, because honestly, I was one of those that didn't think I could afford it. But when I got Success Starters, I said, I'm going, because I had a free ticket. So I got my airline ticket, only to find out that it wasn't good till next year, because I didn't hit the end of March deadline. So I went anyway. And I would not have missed this opportunity for the world. I love this team. I love how inclusive Scotty is with everybody. And I've never felt like I was really a part of a team like I am with this team. So y'all, we're just so blessed to have such amazing leadership. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you for making me cry again. Number 7 for this team call. Anybody else want to share? Marianne.
I'll go. This is Marianne. So for the first time I met many of you, I really didn't know you. And I'm hopeful that all of you will recover soon. I'm very thankful today that I'm not suffering from COVID, as I had to go back to my main job. But I just wanted to share a little bit. So one person I've consistently followed over the last year or so has really provided me a lot of hope. She was one of the top 10 that walked across the stage. And I know all of you know her, it's Happy Haley from South Dakota. And she was just a regular person and who did amazing things and took action day after day after day and showed up. And so I know that some of you know this, but in 2018, I lost my 25-year-old daughter very unexpectedly. And that was my first summit right before that. And so I beat myself up for a long time. How come I hadn't really driven the boat? And this weekend, I just kind of let go of that. I'm going to start crying right now. But what I really saw this weekend was the amazing people that you are, and to keep driving and to set goals. And I am going to join Team Cup, thanks to Matt and Laura. And so I think the takeaways this weekend were, to live now, not in the past. And not that your past doesn't shape you, I think it does. But I think for so long, it just, I'll be honest, I also lost an ex-husband the year after. And I know for many people, that's a source of sadness. But for me, it got me out of divorce court. So that was just part of my story, that after 10 years, I finally got my freedom. And So I loved what Matt said today. If you think you can't afford to be here, you absolutely need. I mean, I was in a place that I ended up taking bankruptcy, and just this past year, I was in one of those very miserable jobs. And on April 8th, I went to work that day to say I'm cleaning out my desk. I didn't think the job matched my values anymore. The people that I worked for didn't match my values. So there's been a lot of action this year. There needs to be a lot of additional action. And for me, I know some of you talked about, um, I know that after watching Happy Haley from South Dakota, I know it's very, I mean, her and I went to the same summit. So I know it's the amazing things that we all can do and we're all capable. And so I know for me, it's really taking a hold right now, some baby steps. My nutrition, it was a big step for me this morning, just to make sure I checked online. And a lot of the coaches, yesterday, once they got in, and I just got in late last night, was to really take a firm hold on their nutrition. And so I went to the grocery store first thing this morning, did a grocery haul, lined it up on the counter and took a picture of it. And, I think it's the baby steps. And I shared with Scotty that I too plan to join him on stage next year. I'm not going to say a 2-star diamond. I'll stay a 1-star diamond.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Marianne. I was just typing as you said that. I had to say no to my 6-year-old offering me some of his peanut butter M&Ms from grandma's house. So we will see you on the stage. And thanks again for making me tear up. I'm number 8. But we're excited. Marianne, one thing I want to point out about Marianne is I didn't know Marianne too personally. She was brought on by one of my PS coaches who hasn't been present for years. And she did what each one of us needs to do. Just put yourself, and I was telling Matt this, you need to put yourself in the position of greatest opportunity. And so, in the team page, I put up who's coming to Summit. Marianne commented in there, which got her into our thread, which got her into, the chat thread to know where to meet up for team pictures and to meet up with other members of the team. So I want to give her a shout out for doing that, for putting herself in that opportunity to be surrounded with the team. Because I would have felt, my personality, I would have felt horrible to hear later that Marianne was at Summit and I didn't get to meet her in person. That's just the type of person I am. But she's the one that put herself in that position, and each one of us gets to do that. So anybody else want to share?
I can share.
Yes, Shaylee.
Hi, guys.
Shaylee is the energy I need, the extrovert energy I need in my life.
So, wow, Summit. The theme of this year is dream up, or team up to dream up. And if you really let that soak in, that this isn't an I thing, this is a we thing, that really gets me so excited, because there are a lot of strengths that I don't have, and working as a team makes it so that we can all bring our strengths together. And so it's not, we're not competing, we're collaborating, and we're working together. So it gets me really excited. It's embarrassing to say, but the last sneak peek to coaching I did was in 2019. So when I really take a big, hard look, I'm like, oh, I'm not actually trying to build a team. I'm just selling challenge packs. So yeah, of course I'll probably cry too, because I'm like Scotty, I'm just like, eh. But a lot of big moments. One of the biggest moments was crossing the stage as a 1-star. And I brought my first diamond coach to Summit. So I was super excited to be able to share that with her. And Emily's just the type that she started coaching under me and posted that she was coaching before she even told me. So I was like, I think I saw your coaching. Like, Emily is just like the diamond in the rough girls that you dream about. So that was amazing to be able to see somebody else achieve a goal. And like everybody else has already echoed, it's so much more fulfilling to have others achieve their goals rather than just achieving your own. And when I take a really hard look at it, I think I've been very focused on my own journey. And there were times that I really needed to do that. and things were shaky and wobbly, like, you know, in my marriage and other things. But I don't want to stay stuck in the survival, like Brendan Bouchard said. I don't want to stay stuck in that. I'm ready to raise my ambition and thrive, but also help other people do the same. Another highlight was one of my favorite trainers, Elise. I met her and I was like, you saved my marriage. And she's like, you saved your marriage. And we were hugging and we were both crying. And I was like, wah. She's like, well, what did I do to save your marriage? And I was like, you gave me a light during a dark time. So if you think about it, even just plugging somebody into a program, it just is going to change their life. If you look around Summit, there's so many people that come from all walks of life. We all have a unique story. And, you know, we have something very beautiful to share. We have something so beautiful. And it's also embarrassing that I haven't even started doing my own team calls. So I have committed to starting to do my own team calls. And when I ran into Kat, the modifier, right before I was getting on the elevator, I was like, hey, Kat, what would be your number one advice? And she's like, I really wish I had a sexy answer for you, Shaylee, but it's the Success Club tracker. And I was like, dang it, that's what everyone keeps saying. So I'm like, okay. All right, Success Club tracker it is. So that was a big takeaway is your focus is your superpower. That if you set the timers and actually do the activities, and it might be mundane and super boring, like it's going to move you forward. It's so easy to get distracted on social media. It's so easy to get caught up in the likes of, oh, how many views did I get on the reels? Like what's happening? Those things are so distracting. It's noise. Like focus in on the tracker and it will move you forward. And then Kat also said to start everyone with a gut protocol because she says, if you want to get results, nutrition is it. So gut protocol. Trying to think, there was another couple of takeaways. I sat down with Scotty at dinner and had to have that moment where you're just like, Scotty, I've been here for 5 years and I don't think I've had as much success as I was hoping. And I think that my biggest issue is I committed to leading with the heart. And in doing that, I kind of ignored the money part. And so he's like, well, let's study the compensation plan. I was like, all right, so I'm not going to dwell on the past about just like ignoring the money part actually caused me to lose out on a lot of money. So I logged in and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of volume on this side, but not a lot of volume on this side. So it's easy. Like I can move forward, learn from my mistakes and start being more strategic about my placement. Whereas it's not a fun conversation to have, you know, where you're just like, but I just really love the community. I love being face to face. I met Sam. She also helped me so much. Beth, you know, all of you guys give me just small little nuggets that I can take away. And one of the $1,000 winners who had a stroke at 31, she had a stroke at 31. It blew my mind. Like, health needs to be at the forefront. My grandma had a stroke at 55. The last 20 years of her life, she could hardly walk and talk. That's why I'm here, is because of my grandma. I will keep health at the forefront. And I'm ready to stop focusing just on me. And I want to focus on the team and doing it as a we thing. So that's pretty much it.
I love that. Thanks for making me cry again. We had so much fun. We had oven pizza. Hi. We had an oven pizza and we did the compensation plan. We had all of our water glasses lined out in the her coach and left leg and right leg water cups. And then there was a candle and we're like, this is the strong leg, the one with the candle. It's because it's burning. This is like your rock star coach. It was fun. But I absolutely love the compensation plan. So if you guys ever have questions about that, I'm here for you on that. We're in an hour. So the introvert to-do list guy in me wants to say like, get off right now and do the to-do list. However, I don't want to, like, I'm here. I don't have another appointment until 2. I'm not saying we're going to go another hour, but I don't want to close the call. Anybody can leave if you need to leave, but I don't want to close the call if there's someone else here that went to Summit that wants to share their experience before I share
Hey,
my
Scotty. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can't see the mic on who's talking.
This is
Oh,
Emily.
Emily. Hey, Emily.
My phone keeps kicking me off if I have the video on. So I
That's all right.
can't put the video on because it's like overheating. But I have to go back into work. I just wanted to share my takeaways with you guys real quick.
Yep.
But there were so many. But the biggest one for me was self-limiting belief, because recently, like, after having my baby, getting pregnant, I felt like kind of this life being sucked out of me, and I started questioning myself and my abilities, and like, why would somebody want to do this with me? Like, we're human. Those self-limiting beliefs are going to creep in on all of us. And I heard that when those start coming, which they will, you need to lean in and discover what you need to start developing in with personal development. You need.
Oh, dang. I think she got completely cut off. I think her phone shut off. Anyhow, if she comes back, we'll let her. Oh, she's popping back in.
I remember her telling me one takeaway she had is that self-doubt just means that you need to learn something. So what is it that you learn?
Yeah.
Are you back?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I back? I'm like, sorry, my phone. But yes, that's all I was saying is the self-limiting beliefs means you need to lean in and learn something, rather lean into the community more. If you don't feel comfortable talking to coaches, learn the compensation plan, like dig into your back office. Self-believing, like those doubts mean you need to grow in a certain area. And that's everything I needed to hear. It's nothing. The people on stage, they're not smarter than me. They're not better than me. They're not prettier than me. They simply dive in when things get hard and they grow and get better. So that was everything for me. So I just wanted to share my takeaway.
Well, thank you, Emily.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else want to share? And then I'll try to keep my finals at 5 minutes. Michael, we can hear you.
Great.
Wait, we can't hear you very good though. The audio is really low.
Is it really low?
Yeah.
Let me try. Is that better?
A little bit, but still pretty quiet.
Oh. Let me take these off real quick. Sorry, I'll be really quick here.
Oh, that's way better. Yeah.
Whoa, can you hear me now?
Yeah, really good.
Okay, good. Well, basically, it was my 5th summit, but it was the first with the team. And I loved meeting every one of you. Every one of you gave me so much inspiration. I have some things written down over here on the side screen here. And it's just like how this is really such a lifestyle. It's not just, this isn't just a social event. Everybody meets, hugs, and that's it. There's so much to learn. And I realized that taking action was so important. And I've always been a collector of information. So I usually collect information and I never take action. But this time I just told myself I was going to give myself 5 things to focus on at a time and soak those in like a sponge. And then one of the things I learned too was about social media. And it's been a while since I've been in the social media game as far as what to post, how to post, and things like that. And one of the things I learned from the workshops was posting with purpose. And I thought that was really important. In fact, instead of just throwing like some motivational quote on the screen, doing something where there's a call to action, or kind of like what Cynthia said about how go ahead and share your weaknesses. Go ahead and be a little bit vulnerable, because you'll be able to be more authentic, and somebody's going to be able to connect to that. Even if you don't, a lot of times, like for me, I think I'm the only one. So it was great to actually not be the only one, and share those kind of things. And the other thing too I learned was also, moving out of the pandemic and everything, we have to, it's so many people need to find their way and connect, you know what I'm saying? So it's really important to be present, be in the moment, and help people find that happiness, help people find their passion and what they want to do. And I think that was really a big takeaway that I took from us summit and from hearing everybody speak. And I thought that was really big. And I have a big goal too. I want to go diamond in 2023. I would love that. That would be so great. And I never had confidence in myself until going to the summit and seeing everybody else. And like everybody's saying, it's the only difference between them on stage and us and myself is just putting in the work. And taking action. So that's definitely what I'm going to do. And then the other thing I was just going to say is that it's just helping people is so important. And I always notice for my own self that when I'm helping somebody else, I'm not thinking about my stuff as much, so, and I kind of got that vibe going in the summit. So that's all I got, really.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. You are going to be Diamond. You'll be a part of this Superstar Diamond team as well. And thank you for that reminder of that one theme of this is not about me, this is about we. And that's going to be the biggest thing that I have to focus on, because I'm so good personally at personal like affirmations when I get into them, but a lot of times they're just surrounded with what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to fail? How am I going to show up? And not about we, what are we going to do? How are we going to make an impact? What's the mission we're after? And what are we going to accomplish? So anybody else? Okay, you have to hop off. I'm going to share one last thing from Brendan Bouchard, and then just some of my, just be vulnerable with you about some of my doubts. Let me hit share real quick, and then I promise I'll only take 5 minutes to end up.
In a meaningful life, you just have to remind yourself to feel it again. You have to give yourself credit again. Because you're somebody who wants to live a fun and authentic and energized life, and you're trying to do that. Good for you. You're somebody who loves your family and you want to ride more. Give yourself credit for that. You've come a long way. You're somebody who wants to help and inspire people, and you chose to do that. That's why you have this video on your phone you're watching later, because you chose to be somewhere where you could learn how to help and inspire more people. Give yourself credit for that. You're already living a meaningful life. You already matter. Now please teach yourself to feel it again. You deserve it. Thank you, guys. That's it.
Okay, teared up again. Anyhow, I needed to, he told us to record that and watch it back, because we're on this meaningful pursuit, the next big goal or mission of leading a Superstar Diamond team. To be honest, I'm done with the recognition. I don't need to be on stage, even going on for the elite, the premiere for 2020, elite for 2021, the Success Club 100. I'm like, oh, again, like I kept having to leave Gabby. So I don't need to be up there for that. But I needed to be reminded upon listening to that video that to remember how far that we have come, and that we can do this, and that we are making an impact and difference in other people's lives as we do this. And then I have to share with you guys, I was talking with Matthew, and I was the last night, and Matthew's like, what? Like, I thought you were like this invincible, like guy that just shows up like a disciplined robot every single day and just crushes goals. And because I shared with him what I'm going to share with you guys right now. When I decided, it's like something just triggered me. There was a lot of things there. Like I felt it was my time. I felt called to it, but I watched one of my friends go on stage, and this was my 9th summit, 9th live and 11 with the virtuals. I see people do it and I'm like, I don't want to say jealousy, but I'm like, dang it. Like why are we not there yet? And they're up there, like, this sucks kind of mentality. And this year it was totally like, I was snapping pictures of friends that I know that achieved that goal that aren't on this team. And I'm like, yes, boom, like taking pictures, and they're not even on our team, and they're just in the network. And I was just so proud that they did that. And one of them was my friend Micah. And when Micah was a brand new coach, like 5-star Diamond Elite, Micah Folsom, she lives 30 minutes from me. She invited Gabby and I to her team retreat when she was brand new baby coach, 5-star Diamond. And I got to share our story, do a Q&A with her team. And I'm like, I just had to sit there and be like, man, she has grown. And it wasn't a jealousy thing. She has grown, and she was recognized on stage as a 3-time Superstar Diamond team. And I was like, it's time, dude. Like, it was a conversation with myself. Like, it's time. Like, you have to get clear about what you want. You have to get focused intention on your goals. And it for the first time, it wasn't for me. It was like for every one of you guys. Like, I have to rise up and be that example for you guys as well, because I've just been coasting. But so I set the goal, but then what immediately happens? All of the excuses come in. Like, I was like, immediately I started doing like 5 things I could do similar to Matt. I'm like, okay, I just went through PT. So I've been doing physical therapy for 10 weeks. I just had a procedure like 10 days ago, and I have more physical therapy to do. So I'm all excited. I'm like, I'm going to dial in my nutrition because that has slacked, not working off and doing a program. I'm like, I'm gonna do a program, and I'm like, I immediately began to be bummed, like lift more. My guys are doing lift more, all the people are, but I can't, right? So all these things started to come in, and I'm like, oh, but you can't start your nutrition yet. You're taking the family to Manhattan on July 26th through August, like 8th, like start after that. And then I was like, and then this is the next thing that came to my mind, bro. You're building the 5th vacation rental and your home at the same time, and you've never dealt with even building one home. It's going to be too overwhelming to do 2 builds and lead a team to 15-star diamond. Wait until the homes like are started and well on the way. And guys, to be honest, that's going to be like a year out. But that's what my mind was doing to me. So I want you guys to know I feel that as well. And I was sharing that with Matt. And then the next thing that I shared is, like, I told him now, I was like, Matt, like, I'm going to do this. We're going to lead a superstar diamond team. And guess what Matt said? I'm going to be one of your diamonds. You can count on me. I'm going to do it. Later that day, I was sitting with Laura, and I was like, Laura, like, I wanted to start telling people, because I got over that. This is not the time I'm going to do it. I got over that excuse, right? And so now I start telling people. I tell Matt, and then I go tell Laura. And I'm like, Laura, I'm going to do this. And Laura's like, you can count on me. I'm going to be one of those diamonds. Like, you don't even have to worry about it. But I'm going to be very vulnerable with you guys. And this is what has stopped me over the last 8 years. 15-star needs to first happen in my first business center. I'm a 5-star diamond. I used to be a 14-star. We're a 5-star diamond right now. And Matt's in my 3rd business center, and Laura's in my first, or in Gabby's business center. So this is what my mind does. I'm like, yes, but I feel this guilt of, like, when I achieve 15-star diamond with the team, Matt is in my 3rd business center, Laura's in Gabby's. And then I'm like, but they're not like one of the 15 diamonds for this goal. And then I feel like guilty, like even saying anything to them, I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. And then I just let it go. But here's what happens in my mind. The most massive growth we had in our business, we created 9 diamonds in 1 year, right? So for us to hit this goal this year that we've set, I have to take this team from 5-star diamond to 15-star diamond, which means 10 new diamond coaches in that business center. And then plus Matt, for example, in the 3rd business center, and Laura in the Gabby's business center. Now, all of a sudden, I'm overwhelmed. I'm telling you guys my thought process of what happens every single year. I'm like, crap, I've only done 9 at my best, at the very best. And now I have to help Matt and Laura get there. There's 2 plus 10. That's 12. And then I'm like, that's too much, too overwhelming. And I don't take any sort of action. Shandy, I know you're going to do it as well. God, making me cry again. So that's what's held me back. And I was sharing that with Matt. He's like, oh man, I didn't realize those kind of thoughts go through your mind. I just thought you're here doing like, just like a machine, a robot. And I'm like, no, I feel these things. And then I just don't go for it because it seems like it's impossible. It's something I haven't done before. It's more than I did in the year that I did the most ever. Right. So here it is for you guys. This is the line in the sand. All things are possible. I saw people in the top 10 that helped like 32 new diamond coaches in a year. Maybe it was Christina Delgado. I don't know who it was, but we're going to do it. There's no more excuses, and I'm going to show up every single day, and I'm just going to do it inch by inch, helping one person at a time. And I have full belief that whether it's Shandy, Laura, Michael, whoever's on our team as personally sponsored, and the thing that I told Matthew, sorry, I'm going to go off track where I was going, and Laura, is that, and Shandy, who's proclaimed diamond, and Matt, who's proclaimed diamond for next year, is that even though you might not be in the first business center, you might be in the 2nd or the 3rd or in Gabby's. When you rise up as a member of this team and I rise up, the rising tide rises us all together. Like that belief of seeing Matt do it, and then Laura do it, and then Matt doing it, and Cynthia doing it, it's going to create more belief inside of the team. And I know that the 10 people in that business center that it needs to happen in will rise up with you guys. Maybe they'll be resurrected from the dead. Maybe a coach will come back that has canceled. Maybe someone that went to a preferred customer will see that excitement and see all of you guys going after your goals and dreams and becoming and start to rise up. And I have full faith and belief that I can find the people that are out there in my community right now that want to go after a mission as big as that as well. So we will find them. And the cool thing is when you get clarity on a goal, and Brendan Bouchard talked about this, the way opens up. Like the path opens up. And it's the craziest thing. I said 5 minutes, but I'm a little longer. The craziest thing, I have to share something with you guys. I met this incredible coach. He's this black kid, and he had one of his guys in the classic with him. He was the guy that was up there like swinging his arm, like, yeah, like doing all the fun poses on the stage. He's a 3-star, almost a 3-star diamond. His mom is his strongest building coach. And Laura, was she 72? I think she's 72 years old.
She's 69.
69 years old. And she is his strongest diamond and best recruiter. And she doesn't use social media. She talks to people in real life. And so this is my call to you guys to build your teams and your communities. Yes, we'll use social media to reach the masses, but reach out to people face to face, talk to people face to face, and then bring them and then introduce them to your social media so they can see what you do, watch your stories, but get out in your communities and be that example inside of your communities. He's a 3-star diamond, almost building all just locally like that. And it was incredible to be reminded of that. I used to do a fit club and we had 70 people on Tuesday nights working out live to P90X and a projector with us back in the day. And I think there's a lot of power in that community, especially coming away from Summit like that. So my call and invite to you guys is to invite people in your local community face to face. And I had something really powerful that I wanted to share outside of that, but I will.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, Laura.
Can you become a superstar diamond in your second or third business center before you get your first business?
Absolutely. If you have 15 diamonds in your second business center, that could be a superstar diamond team. Or in your third business center, if you have 15 in that center and 5 in your first, you can still be a superstar diamond in whatever business center you go for. So
you're going to be a superstar diamond in 3 business centers by next summit.
More than that, we're here for the long run. I'm not going to say next summit. Don't try to overwhelm me, Laura. I have full belief. But yeah, first step is superstar 1 for this team. And I think there'll be a lot of power in you guys being able to say that you were a part of that as well. You're a part of a superstar diamond team. And we're going to do that. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. I could talk forever right now, but I need to get back and finish my bat before my meeting with a builder at 2. So thank you guys for being here. We absolutely love you guys. Thank you everybody for sharing. And I want you guys, the team page is not my team page. I need you guys in there sharing, adding value, breathing belief into people, and really make it a team and community. That's something I haven't been great at on how to do that. Like, don't ask me permission to lead inside the team. I want to see you guys just doing that. Okay. All right. See you guys later. Sorry, it went a little long.